Welcome, leaders, teams, and those ready to take charge of their energy. It's Kelly Buboltz, your guide in workforce energy management. Burnout is not just a buzzword, it's a symptom of deeper root cause stressors. We're here to stop waiting for the change and start leading it. It's time to reclaim our energy and lead our days with intention and purpose. When we talk about stress management, the importance of that is releasing those stress cycles. So you have an event in which something is causing stress. That cycle begins and your nervous system will hang on to that until you release it. But we're not very good at stress management. I certainly wasn't either. And that's what led to my burnout is stress cycle after stress cycle of not releasing them. And they began to pile and compound. Now, what I found out is some stress management techniques and tools that people are suggesting just didn't fit me and my wiring. And I realized that using DISC behavioral science, we can actually align stress management techniques and tools to our style, making it more successful and sustainable to release those stress cycles. And when it comes to managing energy, let's not exhaust ourselves in that process. I'm going to have a video for each work style. D's are dominance, are red, are fast movers, results orientated type of people. I's, influence, are yellows, those social people that loves to have a voice. S are supportives, the greens. Those in the background, a little more introverted, but they love to help other people. And C's, compliance, are blues. Again, a little more introverted, but they're data detailed orientated. This video is for I's, our influence, our yellows. These are a little bit more social, but still fast-paced type of styles. When stress arises, when that event of stress happens and that cycle begins, that's when emotions become suppressed because you're either looking toward other people and what they need, or you feel like you can't speak up in a way that feels like it's belonging with the group. You actually suppress the voice that is your natural style. And in doing so, you might even isolate or silence yourself, which is working against you. Because in stress management, high I's are influence. How they release stress is through expression, through their voice, through community and interaction with other people. Now, how do I's, influence, our yellows, relax? They like to be busy, they like to be active in groups and social, but sometimes that nervous system, it needs a break as well. As an extrovert, as someone who likes to be social, I also need a break from people at times. And so how could I find that happy medium between rest and reset and also feeding my natural tendency to be around people? And what I found is having music on while I'm laying on the couch or laughing with friends as we talk about conversations, journaling in a way that either was active journaling, like a guided journal, or even taking my phone and doing voice journaling. That helped a ton too, because I want to be social, I want to talk, I want to laugh, but at the same time, I know that my nervous system needs a break and I need to work through some things. So feeding this work style in the having a voice, talking into your phone actually was a great way to start journaling, not only the writing way, but getting my voice heard. What I do with that, it's up to you. You can delete it. You can keep track so you can look back in the future. Whatever you want to do with it, those type of voice notes, voice journaling, help me get my voice out in a way that I felt more comfortable and aligned than maybe forcing it on a blank page. So those voice notes allowed me to begin emotionally processing things that were deep down, those things that you shoved down to your stomach. I shoved it down to my gut, and you weren't really processing that stress is building and building day after day. That's how I got some of those deep-rooted chronic stress moments and stress cycles out, is through guided journals. So it almost felt like a conversation with someone, or the voice memos in which I was processing through my voice, but in a manner that felt safe to me as I did the solo work. This can feel uncomfortable in the DISC style of I because they're interactive. They like to be around community and other people, and this is solo. Right? So then there's this nagging feeling that you need to fill the space, or you need to be doing something, or you need to be talking to someone. So instead of combating that natural style that you want to be in, allowing music around you, laughter between one another, or journaling out loud is going to allow you not only to get your voice out, apply that stillness and space, but provide your nervous system an environment in which it can reclaim energy in your style while not being overstimulated with all the things that you want to be involved in. A common habit that high I's, our influence, our yellows have in the kitchen is high sugar and snacking, because they're very social type of people, and that often happens over what I call the trough. And at work, we would have this counter, and it would always have cookies or leftover Halloween candy and snacky foods, and you would conversate with someone and have some, and you didn't realize how much snacks and sugars you actually had through the day. So in your kitchen etiquette, as you release stress cycles, recognize that that's a common habit in high I's, because it's a social type of nature, but it's not necessarily aiding in releasing your stress cycles, reclaiming that energy, and managing that energy throughout your days. So what you want to do is stick to more sensory type of meals. Instead of sugars and snacks, you're actually looking for colorful foods, variety of foods. So you're not eating the same thing all the time. So say if you want to have a cleaner pasta salad, right? So you're going to have some chickpeas, you're going to have some different vegetables in there, you might make a dressing. Well, after like day 4 of eating that, you're going to be bored with that meal already. So maybe what you do is you make some noodles, and then you have a small batch of vegetables here. Maybe you have some like meats and cheeses over here for the next day that you eat it. Maybe you have 2 different dressings. You have to understand that high I's like that variety. They love change. So if you're meal prepping or trying to get away from those sugary, quick grab snacks, you're going to want to prep meals that have a rotation so that you don't get bored with what you're eating. Then when you're grazing, you're either already full from your meal, or you already have a meal prepped that you can eat off of. Now, a tip, as a high I myself that love to graze on snackies, the trough, when talking to people at work or at home, was to just have something in my hand. Maybe it's just my water. Maybe it's just the coffee that I have in my hand, or tea or hot water. Really, what your body wants is a gesture showing I'm social, I'm open. And so by having something in your hands actually keeps you from snacking and grazing, because your body's looking for that back and forth camaraderie type of stimulation. And having just something in your hands will help you avoid that over snacking. Now, something that I ran into when I was really stressed is that fun food when you're really stressed, that go-to food when something happens and you react through food instead of releasing that stress cycle in a healthy manner. My specific action that I would take is I would go across the street from our manufacturing plant, and I would get a hot fudge sundae and salty fries. And I would sit in that parking lot and dip those salty fries in that hot fudge sundae, and the mixture of that salty and sweet and hot and cold, it felt in a short moment of time, I was releasing stress, almost like a cigarette. But then I would go back to work and my stress level would be even higher. My guts would hurt. It would just spill over from meal to meal to meal, eating that junk. My digestive system was so stressed and my nervous system strained. Do you think it really needed a hot fudge sundae and fries? It did not. It needed healthy food. It needed time to breathe. It didn't want more snacks. It wanted an actual meal. So be careful of those stress response foods that you might go to. Mine, I didn't recognize because routinely I went out. People around me routinely, when they were stressed, went out to McDonald's. So I thought it was fine until it wasn't. And I recognized the moment stress hit, that trigger, my response was junk food. So recognizing that trigger and the response, and not focusing on reducing the trigger, it's going to happen regardless, but my response to it. So I started keeping other things. If there was a trigger, I would chomp on some mixed nuts in my office, right? I got the salty goodness, I got some stimulation, and I felt better. And my system got better support working through that stress cycle so it can release, versus fast food. For high I's, that cognitive unload is going to need a connection reset. This means they want to be around some human interaction that's positive, uplifting, or forward moving, or like minds in which, you're not surrounded by that drama drain. This could be done through a voice text to a friend, and then they pop one back. A quick call to someone that you like and trust. Some kind of expressive release with another person. And the key to this connection reset is connection. You're not looking on problem solving, creating a solution for everything that's involved. You're looking for that emotional release without the savior complex of solving everything involved with it. Stress doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It releases those stress cycles when you find the right exit for it. Energy management isn't about doing more. It's about aligning where that natural release can happen. Today's step matters. It's in the micro moments that real change begins. Managing your energy isn't about shame, blame, or disrupting your lifestyle. It's about the small, intentional choices to reclaim that natural energy. If this episode hit the mark for you, share with others. This journey doesn't have to be lost and lonely, but exciting and full of new paths. See you back here to continue the adventure.